Okay, so for my homemade dog food that I add in to the dog's kibbles that stay with me for boarding, for lodging, so I do use a meat source from, I guess, Dog's Choice Doggy Moggy. It's the beef one, and it comes in 1 pound tubes like this, and it comes frozen. So the dog food does get delivered to my house, and it comes in a 40-pound box or 42-pound box. And you can get it online, order it online, get it delivered to you if you're in like Calgary, I think, and Edmonton and Red Deer. And oh, what else? Oh, yeah. So it's on, if you just look up granddog.ca, that's where I order the meat. Okay, so I do mix about 50-50 the meat and the veggies. So I have a wide assortment here, but honestly, you can just stick to something really basic like carrots and broccoli, and that's it. So I just like to throw in a little bit of extra greens, and orange or red vegetables. Variety, they say, is key. So mix it up a little bit. Today, so yeah, so my main staple, like I said, is usually broccoli, and the carrots I've already done. So they have been shredded and they're cooking right now. So I have a bit of kale, I have some zucchini, I have some squash. So it's usually whatever's on sale. I'll add a little bit of apple. That's a lot more apple than I'll need. So I'll probably do either half or a quarter of that. I won't be using this entire thing. I'll probably use half or a quarter again. This is just cranberries, and you can add it. It's good for them, but in small amounts. And then just some things that I add in there that are good for them are hemp hearts and ground flaxseed. It does have to be grounded. It won't digest in its whole form. And then I add oats. So flax and oats are kind of a little bit more for the non insoluble fibers. And the veggies are both, but they're a lot more of the soluble fibers. And then I also have kelp, which is seaweed. The reason I add this is because of the omega-3s. So usually people say fish and seafood, but they get it from the kelp. So then we can just get it directly from the seaweed, and it's just a lot more cost effective. Okay, so for seaweed, I just have a few different kinds. And honestly, I just sort of buy whatever is most economical. And so I get these from an Asian supermarket. So for me, it was Lucky 97. And so this is one of them. It's called what was it, dried whack. I don't know how to pronounce that. Wakame seaweed. And so what I do, they're dried up, and what I do is I soak them, and believe it or not, they expand a lot. So that, and this is another type of dried seaweed, and then this is what they call dried kelp. So just different kinds of seaweed, and I think it's almost like a vegetable, a green vegetable, but from the sea. So to me, it has a lot more sort of nutrient source. And it's got that jelly that comes from fruit and vegetables that are very good for our lining, for the intestine. I know I watched like a health show where this professor who's been studying health for years recommends that actually like we take in seaweed almost every day. So yeah, so those are my ingredients that I use. So I do put the vegetables, fruit, into the food processor. And then I soak my seaweeds. I cook my oats. And the hemp hearts and the flaxseed, I do put them through a blender as well. So for me, I just use a little, oh, what is that called? Like the magic bullet. But I'm sure you can use any kind of blender. And I just grind them up so that they're a bit more like a powder, I guess. Yeah, so they're just grounded up. But yeah, so those are my ingredients, and yeah, that's pretty much how I make their add-ins. Okay, and here I'm just showing you the seaweed that I soaked. So as you can see, they expand quite a bit. So here I've got sort of the little dry flakes, and then if we look at what they look like when they're soaked, like they've, expanded like quite a bit. So I'm gonna maybe see if I can put some dried. Yeah, so those are the dried pieces, and then that's what it expands to. So it's quite a bit more. Yes, I've just got the three kind. You can just use one kind. I just happen to have three on hand, so I'm using them. Yeah, and so I do put them through the food processor as well once they are soaked. Again, I just want them in little pieces so that it's just easier for the dogs to digest.